Hello. Q and A. Hello. I'll wait till everybody gets on. Gotta let my mom get on. Trying to pin my comment. There we go. Boom, it's on the top. Hi. Y'all gotta excuse how I'm looking. The room is a mess because I'm packing for a whole nother trip. Thank you. I just don't care. I'm sorry. Between jet lag and yeah, but I mean, I care because I'm here, but I was just like, y'all ain't gonna get the cute jazz today. I'll be cute this weekend though. I do have the questions that were submitted thus far written down. I'm waiting on my mom to get on here, y'all. She's in a whole different time zone, so let's see. She should be coming on here shortly. Thank you. Woo, what a journey back. First of all, I didn't even realize I'm like covered in mosquito bites. But I guess that's anywhere. Waiting on mommy to come on. I'm sure she's ready. She was really excited to do this. So basically the purpose of this live, there she is. Hey mommy. The purpose of this live is thank you. I received so many questions. Y'all have to excuse my nail. I'm getting fixed tomorrow. They do not require proof of vaccine. I'll get to the questions. So if y'all submit questions, I'll write them all down. Yes, get some off spray, baby. You do not need proof of vaccine. Actually, if you have vaccine, it doesn't matter. Mommy, go ahead and join my live so I can bring you on. And they do not require you to quarantine. No. You do have to have a negative PCR test within 72 hours. I hope she know how to join. You know how to join, mommy? Yeah, so basically I received so many questions about this trip and I was just like, I can just combine all questions into a live and then actively speak with you guys. I still need to record my podcast because I'm not going to talk about my whole trip on here. It'll just be more Q&A because the whole trip I have us on here for hours and I want to, mommy, you have to say join live, baby. Invite people here. Let me try to invite you. Y'all know how that over 50 generation, they not the best at they're not the best at technology stuff. Hi. Hey y'all. Ooh. There she go.
Hey.
Girl, you saw some no link. You don't know how to work live.
I have never been on it this way.
Oh my gosh. Everybody say hi to my mommy. Hi. Okay, so basically the purpose of this live, like I said, I'm not going to talk about my trip from A to Z. Any questions that you guys may have, I'll tell. Anything that I feel like you need to know if you're planning on taking a trip there, I'm definitely going to discuss. But as far as like me stepping on a sea urchin, me checking it out on getting on the hot air balloon, like all of these things, that's just stuff that's going to be fun and I can talk about on the podcast. That's when I'll like dive into the ins and outs. This is for everybody who has been like, yo, oh my God, I want to go. And do not feel like any question is ignorant because trust me, Egypt totally changed my entire view that was skewed of just not knowing, the ignorance really. So that's what we're here for. And then for mommy, I have her on here and she'll talk to you guys a little bit about, we're going to try to keep this about like 30 minutes. She's going to talk to you guys a little bit about her travel company. And, you know, I'm going to just be all the way honest with y'all. I know we like to feel like we know how to travel, all of that, and we do. But you can't go, Egypt not a place you just book a flight and say, I'm going to just go and see what happens. I'm going to play it by ear. I don't like no plans. I don't like no itinerary. I like to just go there and just go with the flow. Ain't no flow to go with. Okay. There is a huge language barrier. And little old me felt like do you eat bananas? It's always somebody on here, ain't it? Just hit my life. It's always that one. Just weird. Anyway, it's not a place that you just feel like you can just book you a flight and just go to. You really will be doing yourself a disservice because you won't enjoy. Me, and I know that I'm not the only one. When I thought of Egypt, I just associated it with Cairo. I just thought of it as being the pyramids, the Sphinx, the desert, right? Like I didn't even know that they had so many cities, countries. Well, no, not countries. So many cities in their country that are worth visiting, to the point where sometimes you might not even want to go to Cairo. But we'll get into all of that. My mom is here. She's going to talk to you guys a little bit about her expat life and why she chose Egypt and what it means and what it is for her. So I guess until more questions come in, Mommy, I'm going to go ahead. Do you want me to start with some questions, or do you want to just tell your story?
I guess I can talk about why I came.
Okay.
So initially when I came here last year, the plan was first really to go to Ghana. And I had already been to Ghana for 30 days. And so I already knew what that was like. And then Ghana was still closed. So I had to go to a country that was open, and Egypt was open. And I've always wanted to come here because, like Jasmine had mentioned before, I've always had a fascination with like Nefertiti,
Yes.
just to understand what our original roots were. Because I know people think about our roots and they think about Africa, but they don't really go all the way back to the beginning, which was here in Kemet, Egypt,
Mm-hmm.
So, so I guess the universe.
Okay, Mommy, pause.
Okay.
When you're saying things like that, Kim, and stuff, some people don't know. Some people
Okay.
don't know. Okay.
Okay.
So layman's terms, but go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So Kemet, that's Egypt. Okay. So anyway, so I got led here, and then once I got here, like Jasmine was mentioning before, I found that I had like the best of all worlds. I experienced Cairo first for a couple of weeks, and that was fast and loud and fun, right? And different, coming straight from the States. And then
let me interrupt really quick, because as you're starting to talk about the different cities, I do want to tell them, just in case some people can't stay the whole time. So Cairo. So I'm going to compare it to America, right? As far as city in comparison. So Cairo is like 10 New York cities in one. Cairo is huge. Cairo is, it has 22 million people. Okay. So when you pick your trip, if you are smart and go with my mom's tour company, when you pick your trip and you're given the options of the cities to see and do, rest assured to know that there are more cities than just Cairo that has the historical parts, the places to see. If the city life really isn't for you, I couldn't have gone to Egypt without going to Cairo, but Cairo is a lot. Cairo can be pretty intimidating. It is beautiful. I feel like I don't want to keep going in on that. Go ahead. Okay, so Cairo, we'll come back to Cairo. So that's Cairo. Cairo is the big city.
Right. And then the second city we went to was Luxor. And I wanted to come to Luxor because it had, I was aware of like the Valley of the Kings and all the historical significance, because Luxor is the same biblical city, ancient Thebes. Okay. So anybody that's a Bible person knows all the things that took place there. Okay, so
Luxor, let me say Luxor really quick. So Luxor is that of like Atlanta. And I'll say that because I'll save the live. I'll say Luxor is like Atlanta because you have the East Bank and the West Bank, because it goes along the Nile. The East Bank is a little more city, a little more busy. So I would say that's like Atlanta. But then the West Bank would be like where I'm at in Lawrenceville. That would be more so like the suburbs. So you can still be there. You still can have some city type vibe, but you also aren't far away from when you need a little break.
Right.
Okay, go.
Absolutely. And then, of course, no one can come to Egypt, and I've heard so much about the Nubian people. So I had to go where they were, where the majority of them are. Now, there's a huge population of them all over Egypt. So you're going to see Nubian people all over Egypt, heavily concentrated in Luxor, but mostly concentrated in Aswan. And I wanted to see the Nubian village. So I actually went and spent 2 weeks, a week in Luxor, no, 2 weeks in Luxor, and then a week and a half in Aswan. And then at the end of that, I had to decide, because Ghana was still closed. And I had also fell in love with the country so much, I decided, I just want to stay here. My money goes further. It has everything that I want. It has all the modern conveniences. And it's just beautiful. And the people were so great. And so, so I chose Luxor because, it was just more the vibe I wanted. It gave me the countryside and the city all in one locale. It's real diverse. And And diverse here means from light skin to dark skin.
Right.
All in our family, right?
Our
That's the
skin is
diversity.
not
That's
a
it.
weapon there. Our skin is not a threat there.
Yeah.
So my mom lives in Luxor. The other city, she spoke about Aswan. I didn't get to go to Aswan during this trip. I'll get to your question list in a second. 1 second. But the third city that I did visit was Hurghada. Hurghada would be considered the Miami of Egypt, right? So, and it's very touristy, but no Americans, right? So, but I mean, it's pretty far. But you know, full of Europeans, everybody, they come and that's where they vacation. That's where they go. You're gonna get all of the same luxury resorts, the most crystal blue turquoise waters I've ever seen. And I've traveled Mexico, Caribbean, I've traveled all of those places. I don't think I've ever seen any water like that. It was warm. The beauty of it, I literally can't put into words. Like I almost felt like it was fake. I was like, am I really here right now? Like, is this real? Liz asks, is everything pretty close? Okay, so no, everything is not close by. Egypt is a country. So the country, it ain't like you got to drive from Buckhead to Bankhead. Like Egypt is a country. And they have at the airport, how we here at Hartsfield have international and then domestic. They have an airport. And they do domestic flights. So you can fly from, say, as an international, you fly into Cairo, but then you can fly from Cairo to Luxor, Cairo to Hurghada, very reasonable round trip. Same, you know, they have Egypt Air. That's their airline. And I flew it twice while I was there. And it was fine. It was fine. I mean, it was literally no different. Just nobody spoke English. You know what I mean? Like, they tried, but you know, it was just really, really cool for me to just see. It just made me feel so small in this world. Yeah. So small. How long was your flight? Okay, Mom, you got to watch these questions because I got more coming in. Okay, so Cairo.
Well, can I talk about Hurghada real quick? My experience here. So after going back to Luxor and deciding to move there, then I needed a whole vacation for my vacation. And then that's when I came to Hurghada for the first time. And like Jasmine said, it just gave me, it's just a walking resort. The whole town, you know, the whole area is big. Now, Hurghada's not a small city, but it does have all of the nice resorts. And it was just gorgeous here. And the weather was good. And then the significance of Hurghada, too, if you guys don't know it, it's located on the Red Sea. So that's the sea that Moses parted. Yes. So I think
let our people go.
Let our people go. Right. You have to see that in your lifetime, you know. And then there's still many more other places to go. There's the Salt Flats and other parts of the White Desert. It's a lot. And like Jess said, it's a country. So keep in mind, you know, we're talking thousands and thousands of miles.
Right. And I mean, just think about being here in the United States. I mean, we live here and there's places that I haven't been, right? Like I've always wanted to go to the Redwood Forest, like, you know what I mean? So don't try to cram who's only been to Europe. Ooh, that's a good one. Don't try to cram everything into one trip. Like it just won't happen. You will feel, because like I was telling my mom and her friend, I said, you know, as an American, our lives are so busy, right? We live in a very stressed, expensive ass, just high strung, just lifestyle. As much as a lot of us try to preach that we out here finding peace, a lot of us still finding it because it's hard to find here. From the news to the everyday, like it's just a lot. So when we think about vacation, and I'm speaking we, and if I'm wrong, anybody can correct me. When we think about vacation, I think about relaxing. I don't want to do nothing. I just want to lay down, go to somebody's beach, like whatever. Well, me, I always say I'd rather just go to somebody's mountain and sit in the cabin. But point being, it's just a break. I need an escape from it all.
Right. My
leg of the trip in Hurghada let me know I could tell people to come here. And I said that because, again, what did you? Oh, God, girl, she asked some good questions. I got some good ones. One of the things that really, really stood out to me was Hurghada, because I was like, wow, I could really get people here now, because a lot of us, if we're having to sit here and try to accumulate time to be able to even take vacation, you get what I'm saying? Like, we're not trying to, we want to just be on vacation. And so with this, in my opinion, you can get both. If you end your leg in Hurghada, the Miami, their Caribbean, the original Caribbean, let's be clear. If you end your trip on that, you still get that luxury, right? And if you're a history buff like me, I just always felt like I didn't really belong, especially here in America, right? Like I always felt jealous because I've always gone to very diverse schools. And I always feel jealous. Like if I could just look at somebody and they have red hair, I could just assume they're Irish descent, right? You can tell like certain noses, like German, like it's just features of people. You can kind of just tell where they're from. And then on that, just the history goes far beyond I can even think of. My history, from what I know, outside of the turmoil of slavery and things like that, it's just stories that my mom tells me, that my grandma tells me. It's like, so to go somewhere and first of all, be told welcome home, and not said from a space of like, oh, hey, welcome to your new home. Like, no, like welcome home. I was just like, right, like it hit me different. And then our tour guide, well, he was an Egyptologist. When we were in Luxor and we went to visit some of the tombs, he looked at me and he was like, you look like Queen Nefertari. And my heart, remember he said that, Mom? Yeah. My heart just dropped. I was like, I look like a queen, you know, but it just hit different. So when I went into her temple, I just felt right. And so when we were in, I do a little bit of the history. When we went to the Egyptian Museum, America has whitewashed Egyptian culture and history so much that it makes no sense. Those people were not white. Those people weren't even mixed until the 6th dynasty and later. Okay. So from the 1st to the 5th dynasty, and dynasties are kingdoms, right? It's like the reign. So let's just say, I mean, the shortest one was King Tut, right? He was king at 9 and died at 17 or 19. But one of the kings, he reigned for like 67 years, right? So we're talking 5 complete full dynasties. And right now, Egypt is just the country that it is. Before Kemet, it was the whole top half of what we now know as Africa. Right. And correct me if I'm wrong, Mommy, because I was listening in there. And so, hold on. Hey, Carly, say hello, y'all. She wanted to say hi.
Hi, Mama.
Okay. All right. Thank you, baby. Go ahead. Thank you. So, what was I saying? Oh, so the 1st through 5th dynasty, 5 reigns of kingdoms. Well, lineage of kingdom was black. I'm talking about black people look like us. It wasn't until the 6th dynasty that the Romans and the Greeks came in and they, you know what I'm saying, conquered. And then that's when you're going to have some stuff start getting mixed up. But before that, baby, they were us. That's why that's why all the noses is knocked off of all of them. And I said, they got me real messed up when I'm looking in here. And at first I used to think that it was just because it was so old or whatever. Some of this stuff still got color to this day. We talking 4,000 years ago. It's color on there. My nails won't stay the same color after wear and tear for a week or 2 weeks with gelish. I said, so I know you fucking lying. So all the noses is cut off. What's the one thing you can absolutely tell about black people is the bell pepper, the nose, the thing that make us us. So they had me real messed up. But anyway, I was just in there and I was looking, I was like, oh my God. Because I know a lot of people like to go to Ghana, and listen, any country in Africa, I'm pro. Like go. But a lot of people like to go to Ghana and stuff. And, you know, granted, you know, for the year of the Great Return, all that happened. My mom went, she visited. And you go to the slavery museums, you go to all these things, and of which and it is our history, and it brings out emotion and stuff like that. But I'm sorry, I live in America. I know what the after effects of that was. I'm living in it today. It's not over. Like that whole systemic, how it was planned and how it was, like we living in it today. And for me, I don't mind learning that, but it's like, it has to be more. It has to be more. And Egypt gave me that. Egypt gave me a sense of belonging, especially to know the 1st through 5th dynasty was us as kings and queens. We're talking about all the riches in the world, all the power in the world. Like they still have tomb raiders and hunters to this day because they still ain't found everybody. And everybody that had any type of royal blood, shoes on their feet, were buried with riches, gold. You know what I mean? Like you name it, it's there. And so I'm sorry for the brief history lesson, but just so you guys can understand how impactful it was for me and how that welcome home hit different. I don't know. I don't want to get emotional, y'all. It's just living here. Damn it. Living here in America, like, mommy, I'm stuck. Like, it's really
stressful.
Yeah, it's life changing because it's like you want to constantly have to prove something or constantly have to, you know, walk this walk to be accepted. You know what I mean? We're being there, just coming there, like my skin alone was recognized as royalty. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is how I was the whole trip.
Yeah.
Like me being Black was not only accepted, but it was admired. Where being Black here can get you killed. Like, I don't care how much money we have. I don't care how many degrees you feel like you have. Like, the feeling of belonging and the feeling of being seen, it's like you can't put a price on it. So it's definitely, in my opinion, a trip that everybody should take. It's not expensive, okay? Because I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna really say pricing and stuff like that on here because my mom, she has her company and you guys can see and pick and choose and kind of make your own, pick which works best for you. But I just also know that we spend so much money going to Mexico where they don't give a damn about us. Like, they don't. Like, they hey, welcome. Like, your money don't matter to them. You know what I mean? And granted, they have the places, and I know a few people got rubbed wrong when I said y'all still going to Mexico. I guess I could have explained it a little more, but I don't really care. I meant it to say, Jasmine, personally, I got a trip I'm going to on Friday, but it was already booked. But then that's it. But I'm not going. I don't want to spend my money nowhere else. I don't want to, you know what I mean? And granted, there's still places in Africa that I do want to visit and see, but just, I can totally see and understand why now people pack up and go. You get what I mean? Like, if people are staring at you, they're just staring at you because you're pretty, or they just staring at you because they can tell you're born from there based off of like what you're wearing. Like, I think it's still an Islamic country. So if you walking around with a whole bunch of cleavage and stuff out, they're gonna be looking at you like you just walked into their church. But it's okay. They're not gonna do nothing to you. But that will be the reason they're looking at you. Not how I feel as a successful Black woman in America. And I have to lead, when I walk in certain places, lead with wanting to be accepted. Unbeknownst that I'm doing it, right? Like, just kind of like, I went to Florida State, or, even the fact that I drive a Range Rover. What the fuck I'm driving a Range Rover for? Like, it changed my whole perspective about everything. Like, me and Mahmoud were in the car. We were coming back from the hot air balloon ride that I flaked on my cousin. She went on, though, but I wouldn't ride. And I was sitting in the front seat, and it was like 3 or 4 little kids. I'm not making this up. Like, 2 of them was Carly's age. So we look like 4, 3, 4, maybe 5. And then it was like a 7-year-old. And they had, because we were there during the school week, they had their book bags on. And we're talking about like just like a little back road. And we're driving on it. And they were just walking in the street, like in the middle of the street. And I was like, where are they going? He was like, they're going to school. And I was like, where's their parent? And he was like, what do you mean? He was like, they're going to school. It's school like about a mile down the road. And I said, they don't have anybody with them? And he was like, no, they're going to school. And then they come home. I don't even let my kids go to the bus stop by themselves. Like, it was just little things like that, just the quality of life. And it just changed my mindset of understanding quality of life, right? Of what I felt like was quality of life here. I don't feel like I could ever truly have true quality of life in America. Not the rate it's going. I just don't. I know I'm not in position. My husband, I have a lot to work on to try to get him to move anywhere. But my summers will be spent in Egypt. My children will see Egypt. My children will know Egypt. My children will know who they are.
Jazz, can I just say
Yeah.
that one thing that people should understand? I just think, like for me, I just felt like Egypt was like probably the best introduction of Africa to everyone. It's like a great starter country because we are Americans, we're westernized, a little spoiled. You need to kind of come here, because so keep in mind, Africa's third world. Okay, it still is, but at least here you have all the comforts that you're used to. So it kind of introduces you to what Africa could be like. And then from here, sure, go explore everything else, which is what I intend to do too. But Egypt will continue to be my base. I will
Right.
have a place here.
Let me say this though, because a lot of the people on this live has visited the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we get scared when we hear the word third world. It ain't no different than Jamaica, y'all. When I say third world, you get what I'm saying? It ain't no different from when you go and see, I mean, yeah, we're spoiled here in certain ways, but we pay for it. We constantly in debt to have comfort. And what's comfort? You know what I mean? Having robots do everything for you. That's why half of us fat, obese, and because we ain't got to get out and do nothing. I ain't seen no fat people there for real. But I don't want anybody to be scared. I don't want anybody to be scared when they hear third world, because it's not like that. It's not. I did have somebody inquire about, they said that they had heard that the haggling and stuff is very aggressive in Cairo. And I'm gonna be honest, it was. Well, but hold on, let me say this. It was literally no different than here. Listen to what I said. Cairo is like 10 New Yorks. Anybody on this live that's been to New York, as soon as you get off, you walk in the street, all you hear is, hey, my man, hey, bro, hey, my man. Let me show you it was just them trying to sell stuff. It wasn't no worse than the water boys jumping on your car in Atlanta. Like, it was them having items and wanting to sell it to you, or wanting to, now they're starting to like take pictures for you and things like that. Like, it's not a big deal. And I was told that it got a little worse because they're in post-COVID. And when COVID happened, it totally shut off tourism, which was a lot of their business, right? So, anywhere that you go where there's any type of, need for money. But the difference is I'd rather them trying to sell me something and take something. So, I mean, it's really simple to just say, La Shakran, which means no thank you. She said, I'm sorry if I missed this, but Mom, what was the turning point in your life? This is so inspiring for me. Mom, she wanted to know, why did you decide to move out of the country, and what was the turning point in your life? It's so inspiring. Can you write that down? Because I want to go back up really quick.
Okay.
1 second, because I know Ariel has some really good questions. What did you learn while in Egypt, or perhaps the number one takeaway for the culture? Honestly, Ariel, I learned who I was. I have this different sense of pride.
That's good.
I never want to be one to say that I've always been Black and proud, right? Because I don't have any choice. But like, to be Black and proud inside, let's just say I'm walking different. I'm walking different. Someone said, I noticed you said when you went to Egypt, they said, welcome home. How did that make you feel? Okay, well, good. I think I talked about that already. At the pyramids and museums, can't remember which one you talked about, noses being knocked off. Well, we saw what it was. Them noses. What's wrong, Mommy?
It was both. She asked where was it, the museum or the pyramids? It was both.
Both. Yeah, like it's common knowledge at this point that I know what it is. I see what it is. Hey girl, Carly, get away from the door, baby. Hold on, for the love you have. Would you recommend bringing children or young adults? So yes, my mom, I'm taking Desire. I'm trying to take Desire for Christmas. That's my goal. For her winter break is for us to go. Anybody interested? Come on. But yes, absolutely. Now, where we stayed in Hurghada was adult only. So, but there are other resorts in Hurghada too. I personally want to stay at that one because I just loved it. It gave me all of the feels. But yes, absolutely. Absolutely. But understand that there's probably going to be, if your child, because here I am at 32 years old, and the type of emotional turmoil I'm going through right now. And it's just, I have like unease. I'm at peace, but I'm uneased with just my life right now from this trip. Like, I'm having to just reevaluate a lot of things. I'm just having, so I will say, if you do bring your child and your child is of age to kind of evoke feelings, right? And then have to go back to school around people that don't look like them or don't, you get what I mean? Like, it can definitely be, it's going to be something that you'll have to make sure that conversation is open and that you nurture it and answer any questions that they may have, because America doesn't teach real Egypt. They don't at all. So, and let me be clear, y'all, I'm not uneasy. I'm just like, oh my God, if I had done this trip with me and Carl broke up, baby, I would be living in Egypt. Like, that's just what it is. I'm being so serious. I'm like, I'm out of here.
Jazz, can we talk about the fact that you mentioned that, you know, Egypt was not that place where you just jump on a plane and come to get the beautiful experience that you had. But one of the reasons why I'm able to live here in peace is because of the fact that we were guided to, we met Mahmoud.
Mm-hmm.
He made it, you know, he makes it possible, makes it so easy and seamless here that, you know, I don't know if my experience would have been exactly the same without knowing someone. Anywhere you go, you're going to want to know somebody. But to know him and the fact that he speaks English so well, he knows, you know, he knows all of the country, and it's just made my life a lot easier being here. Yeah. So that's why we're able to work together now. He want to help me be able to help people have that same seamless, easy feel when they come here. So
absolutely. Let me tell y'all, don't book no flight and just pop up in Egypt. Don't do it. They got Uber in Cairo, but the way they drive, baby, I ain't getting in nobody's Uber. Don't book no flight and just go to Egypt. Don't do it. You'll be wasting your time. A main question a lot of people are asking is affordability. It's absolutely affordable. It's beyond affordable. The USD to the Egyptian money currency is 1 to 15. So $30 US is $2 their money perspective. Okay. Like, yeah, your money definitely stretches there. Language barriers is a huge language barrier, y'all. I will say the difference between there and Mexico, and I keep referencing Mexico because that's where most of us go. There in Mexico is we pretty much have the basics of Spanish. Si, no, como te llamas. Like, we know a little bit. I ain't know where to start with Arabic. I don't know how to read it. I don't know. I can't tell if they mad when they talking. Like, I don't even understand the diction. Like, yes, the language barrier is beyond real. Yeah, Mahmoud, he speaks very well, good English. He say I the plug. He said he the plug. Love him. My mom actually met him through another expat that she connected with before she moved to Africa, and so she introduced her to him, and it's been a blessing for me because you got to think. I was kind of like, oh my God, my mom's moving to Africa. Like, I knew she'd be okay, but I'm like, shit, this is like not up the street. Like, this is not a quick little flight to Ohio or something. So he has been amazing for her. And it just goes to show too that there's good people in the world. Here you'll be like looking like what they want, what they trying to do, what's the catch? What's the catch? Like, he's like nothing. He is phenomenal, hilarious, but phenomenal. Top must of the trip. Okay, so I already told my mom my idea of the perfect tour. And again, and granted, the way her company works, you guys can customize it to what you want. But people ask me what my top must for the trip, so I'm gonna tell y'all. Hurghada is a must. And I say that because it's staying on a resort in Hurghada for the end of your trip, for me. Because that would just be like the peaceful relaxation that you may need before you go back to this shit, America. Then when I got off the plane and shit, it was raining. I said, I know you lying. I walk around here with a tan and stuff, looking all good, and I walk back. I come back here and it's raining and just anyway. Hurghada, I would recommend for everybody. So I call it like a history luxury tour. That's kind of what I would think that would be really cool. You get your history, whether you choose Cairo, Luxor, then Hurghada, or whether you choose Aswan, Luxor, then Hurghada. Understand that what we've been taught as Americans for Egypt are the things that's in Cairo, the pyramids and the Sphinx. But that's like pretty much all we knew, unless you were a person who just really was interested in history and did your own research. I didn't know about the Valley of No Kings. I didn't know about no Habu Temple. I didn't know about none of that stuff. I knew about the Sphinx. And I knew about the pyramids. I didn't even know the Valley of the Kings and Queens, that they were their tombs and stuff laid in the mountains. Who would have known it? I didn't. I didn't. Again, like I said, Cairo is very busy, but I really, really enjoyed the El Khan Khalili. That's what it's called, which is like the bazaar. We ate at this amazing restaurant there. It was so cute. Y'all know I like good food and bougie moods. It was cute. Like, it gave what it needed to give. I got beautiful pictures. And another thing, you guys, all of the pictures from the trip were taken on my iPhone. Every single picture was taken on the iPhone. I got a little frustrated with Sean Mommy because I had to show them how to use it. But once they learned how to use it, every single picture was taken on the iPhone. So you don't have to go over there with a bunch of equipment or nothing like that if you are in the influencer or blogger space. Your phone is just fine. The light and the clarity there is so real. It's going to capture what you really see. I personally think at least a day needs to be spent in Cairo, to be honest. But Luxor was definitely a must for me. I'll say that, not just because my mom lives there, but it was just so beautiful. And I feel like Cairo is so busy that you sometimes can't really take in all of the beauty, because it's kind of like, whoa, I'm in a bit. But think about New York. Who really goes to New York and just say it was beautiful? No, hell no. You'd be like, whoa, it was busy. You just out there hustling, bustling, trying to get to wherever you're supposed to go. It's really like that. But like I said, don't think that you can only get your history in Cairo. Now, like I said, the museum was really, really nice. But the whole country is a museum, if you really think about it. The whole country, the feeling, the knowledge, the culture is just all there. Luxor, I was able to just like kind of people watch. That's like one of my favorite things to do. So I was just like people watching and just looking. I saw a man slap the hell out of a boy that was making fun of his son. And then the dad had to pull his son. His son had a big stomach. So I think the little boy must have, you tell me, Mom, we saw it. The little boy must have said like, you fat or something. And the dad hit the boy in the head with a book. And the boy started running. And then the dad pulled the son's stomach out. He covered his stomach and held his hand and walked down the thing. I said, damn. And it was a lot of adults and stuff around. And ain't nobody say nothing. Anybody pull out their phone. Ain't nobody say nothing. I said, well, that's community parenting right there. He said, stop talking about my son. But anyway, didn't it, Mom? Didn't that happen?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah. Luxor gave you a chance, and then you could do. She has all of the details, and you guys make sure if you're interested in this to contact her. You can do a riverboat. You can do a boat on the Nile River. We did dinner on that. Absolutely amazing. Valley of the Queens. I didn't do Valley of the Kings, but I'm a queen, so I did Valley of the Queens. I did who I went to see, who I wanted to see. I definitely recommend Hurghada. I haven't had a chance to do Aswan. I will do that next time. Did you visit a few times? Okay, so now people are asking you questions, Mommy. You know there's more. She said, best time to visit. What's the best time to visit? And she said, did you? No, my mom actually never visited before committing to live there. But my mom, I'm going to tell you, when I was a kid, my mom used to have this Nefertiti necklace. And she used to wear it all the time. She used to have masks and stuff on the wall. I didn't even know that she was manifesting this back 30 years ago. Of how authentic you are, and you're funny as hell. Oh, thank you, girl. I want to go everywhere you go. How is it finding employment with the language barrier? Okay, so here's the thing. This is the thing too that I think is like insane. As Americans, we're so conditioned to working. Like we're so conditioned to, okay, I can't make this move unless I have a job and that type of thing. You can have something online streaming. You can have a little boutique. A tour company, you know what I mean? Get your friends and family over. The cost of living is so low that you could have good quality of life. We all would be rich there. Like, I'm not even being rich there. We out here on average paying more than $1,000 a month just for rent, just for mortgage, not utilities, not taxes, not everything else that's in, you know what I mean? Like we are working to live.
Yep.
We're living to work. you know, and so, and that's how they have a set up here. And I don't know if you guys watch CNN today. They were saying for the past like 5 or 6 years, Jeff Bezos, the dude that owned Tesla, all these billionaires, none of them paid taxes. And we barely can get a stimulus when we was in a whole pandemic. Like, it just goes, like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, we have our real life Wakanda right there. If we took our resources, our knowledge, our education, our skills over there, my God, we was sitting there watching Wakanda like this. We could really have it. But anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. Yeah, so I don't know if I would even say like worry about finding employment or anything like that. It's not like that. It's not like that. I mean, of course you need to have money or whatever, but I guarantee you, Kelly, if you took your pension right now, if you took your 401k, however you have it set up, you will be fine. You can live forever and be happy. Let's see. Your settings were amazing. No, we don't do bullies. Oh, honey. I'm following mom. Yes, please follow her. Okay, those are okay. I had another question. How was the flight? Ooh, child, long. Now, my mom has other options for flights to get there, but it is on the other side of the world, y'all. It's not a 2-hour flight. Okay. I did, because me and my cousin went, I did choose to do layovers. Dummy. Because I thought that we would be able to like hit, so going was Amsterdam and coming back was Paris, and I thought that we would be able to have these longer layovers to kind of get some other countries out of the way. But now that I done had this experience, Europe would never see me. I'm gonna just be all the way honest. I'm cool. Europe will never see me until I've touched almost every country in Africa. Period. Sorry. But yeah, I tried to get my ass. Hold on, I'm gonna talk about that on the podcast. I tried to get out the airport in Amsterdam. Them people turned me around. They whole mood changed toward me when I said I was American. And when I showed them my U.S. passport, I'm like, damn, what the hell we did to these people? They took me down a hall by myself. I was like, oh shit. I was like, I'm about to get locked up abroad. I was so scared. And then Shanice had missed her flight, so she wasn't with me yet. And I was like, oh my God, this is about to happen. They had me in this tunnel. My service was bad. I was like, mommy, I don't know. It was just bad. So when we got to Paris, I said, I ain't even with it. I ain't even trying nothing. I'm cool. And our layover wasn't long enough in Paris to try to, because I Googled where the Eiffel Tower was in relation to the airport. It was like an hour and a half one way. And I was like, our layover is like 4 hours. I'm cool. Affordability, like I said, good. How long to stay? Okay, so my mom's trips is recommending what, like 8 days?
And yeah, if you want to get the full, you want to see everything comfortably, at least 3 cities comfortably, I would say 8 days, and that would include 2 days of travel and then 6 days of, enjoying yourself.
Yeah, that's fair. I can agree with that. Yeah, we was, the itinerary was like this, but it was worth it. And again, you guys, it's 6-hour time difference, so you have to account for some jet lag too. I think our adrenaline was rushing so hard that we was just like, it don't matter, we going. Like, I think Shanice stayed up the whole night when it was time to do the hot air balloon.
I think we stayed up 2 days straight in a row. We couldn't go to sleep because we were like,
so excited. Yes. Yeah. And then another experience that I had while I was there too, you guys, at the airport when I was leaving. So this was my first time seeing my mom since August. So I was just like, I was so excited. You guys saw the airport when I came and like that real emotion or whatever. So when we were leaving, I was trying to stay strong for her because I knew she was this close from boo-hooing. And so I was like, all right, bye. I gave her a hug or whatever, and I turned around. Soon as my ass hit that sliding door, I was like, and Shanice was like, it's okay. I was like, I'm like, and mind you, I have this mask on, so all my lashes falling and stuff. I'm just crying. It's a language barrier, so people looking at me like, Shanice was like, why it look like we walking in here about to do a suicide bomb or something? Like, what the hell we walking to the airport crying for? And then you too grown to be in here crying, looking like you scared to fly. Like, it just was so many different things that they probably could have thought. So I'm like going through the security or whatever. I'm getting patted down, and I cannot stop crying. And I'm talking about like couldn't breathe, crying like a whole baby. The lady was looking at me. Mind you, we clearly can't communicate with words, but she pat me down and she was like, okay. Like, and I was like, Mom, and she was like, so she hugged me and shit. And I was just like, America would never. Them people be like, next, somebody would have their phone out recording me. Like, throughout that, despite that language barrier, she was wanting to know if I was okay. The guys, everybody was looking around, like, and it was with real concern, like, real, like, are you okay? You know what I mean? And even that, just the love of humanity, just the love of people, is just something that I feel like is a lost art here. So it was really, really cool to experience that. COVID protocols, girl, just getting in, yes. Because, you know, COVID is a whole business. So they not about we're in a COVID economy. So, you know, to fly anywhere, they're going to make you have to pay for those tests and do all of that type of stuff. So you did have to have a negative PCR test within 72 hours. My cousin, and then it's 72 hours of when you land. So you got to understand, sometimes when you land, because the flights are usually start at night here. So when you land, it's going to be plus day. So Shanice's expired before we land, and they ain't let us sit on the plane. So I flew over there by myself at first. I was pissed. She had to get on the plane like a couple hours after me. But it has to be a PCR test. It cannot be a rapid test. I didn't even know it was so many differences. That lets you know that it is a COVID economy. Because my thing is, the test is a test. Am I positive or negative? When did it become so many days? What is this? Anyway, yeah, you have to have a negative PCR. But then once you get in, super easy. Like I said, in some of the places, like, people had masks on, but just like people that were working. And probably, in my opinion, like at that nice restaurant we went to in the Kilili, I think it was more so because it was so many tourists. They probably just did it to make them comfortable.
Right.
That's what I would assume. But I feel like if you ain't comfortable, why are you traveling? That's just kind of how I feel. If you want to quarantine your ass at home. Like, don't be walking around here looking at people like they crazy. I'm vaccinated. And being vaccinated didn't matter to people either, honey. Them people, my passport ain't mean shit, and my vaccine card ain't mean nothing. So, yeah, no, it was fine. It was fine. It wasn't anything crazy. If anything, Amsterdam and them, I was like, then he gonna tell me you have to have a European passport to come in here. And I was like, he saw my American passport. He looked at me like, no, sorry. I was like, okay, but y'all keep your ass over there again. Anyway, I was annoyed. But excursions. Okay, so for excursions, yes, girl. He looked me right in the face. He was like, American, no. Yeah, it was a mess. Excursions. So the hot air balloon, you have to do that in Luxor if you're not a punk like me. But I'm a cool punk because I went with my cousin. I woke up real early with her, went there with her, saw her off, took pictures, stood with her, but I wasn't getting on. What other? They had other, yeah, you could do the donkey, not the donkey ride, the horse ride.
There's felucca rides, which is the sail, riding on the sailboat, sunset sailboats.
I'm not getting on a camel. I took a picture in front of the camel. I got my big body Benz got on the top of the camel while he was laying down. That camel was like, argh! I said, oh shit, I gotta get off. We gotta get off. They were like, no, we're gonna make it stand. I said, he said no. I just took the picture in the front. I get it. I'm over 200 pounds. I get it. He don't want me on him. Anyway, like, why they do that? That thing was like, I ain't never heard nothing scream like that.
So silly.
Yes. My mom knows all of the different excursions and stuff to do. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm not really an excursion type person. For me, I like to eat and sightsee. I'm not like a daredevil. I don't find any thrill in shit that scares me, right? Like, that's just I've never rode at Six Flags. I went for the funnel cake. Okay, so I'm not the one to really talk to about the excursions. Like I said, yeah, girl, I wasn't playing with that camel. But there's plenty to do. But again, Egypt is so majestic that I personally would recommend not doing anything that you can do anywhere else. Do the stuff that is unique to there, if you can. That's it, really, that they said. So yes, my mom has her company. Make sure you guys follow her. You can go to the website. It has all of the stuff on there. Somebody did ask, like, how much do you think you would need? Again, the trip can be customized for your budget, right? You have to just understand, you know, you get what you pay for in a sense, but it'll always be nice. But again, when I've said Mexico and I made shade towards that, I get it. That's something you can do a quick weekend. It's reasonable, quick little flight. You might be on Hopper and a flight pop up. Like, oh shit, it's a quick cheap flight or whatever. You do it. It's for the weekend. You ain't got to take no time off, whatever. For this, I'm saying change your plans for your birthday trip. Change your plans for your family Christmas trip. Change your plan. You get what I mean? For things that you know you have to plan out for. And again, it's not expensive. It's really not for what we usually pay for anything. But the experience that you gain from it is priceless. You know, it's the perfect girls trip because the men.
So we didn't even know what Egyptians look like till we
Everybody
got
gonna
here.
have a group back. Oh, baby. Yes. My mom is a tour guide. She is. She'll help manage all of the booking, all the stuff. She'll be your liaison essentially. And yeah, she'll come when she wants. Like I said, her house is in Luxor. I'm trying to convince her to offer to cook because she's a chef. I'm trying to convince her to offer to cook for y'all for one of the nights on her rooftop so y'all can have dinner right underneath the Valley of the Queens. And she was like, I don't know. I was like, girl, it's good and it's comfortable and people you play your music, it'll be a vibe. Tell Mamu to bring some shisha, get a hookah stick, y'all good on the patio, on the rooftop. No, but seriously, it's definitely affordable. And the same way that we plan major trips, I just think that Egypt should be on that list. Because like I said, no European country will see me before Africa again. No Caribbean, like I said, if I don't have like a week to take off or whatever, who knows? But Egypt, Africa as a whole has my heart, and I am definitely going to return home. Mom, Jasmine, I love you. Aw, how is healthcare there? So many questions. So I had to get that is something that I did have to get. To get there, I had to get travel like insurance to be while I was there. So I had like $1 million policy for the week for and my deductible was like $200. But it was 12 it was like $20 for my package. So it wasn't bad. And healthcare was good because my stomach had started hurting. I had ate something and my mood pulled up on me with some pills that took that shit clean away in 2 seconds. Glad you went live to express your experience. I know Arabic people aren't Black friendly, so I'm glad you went there and felt welcome. Yeah, but they're not Arabic, baby. That's right. The thing. And again, this is Saudi Arabia is Arabic. Like they're not Arabic, and they'll be offended if you call them Arabic. They speak Arabic, but that's a language. It's countries and most Muslim countries speak Arabic. Arabic is the base language of Muslim. You know, the Quran is in Muslim. I practiced Islam at one point. I know Bismillah. I know the prayer in Arabic. I mean, Allahu Akbar. But they're not Arabic. They're Black. They're African. They're Egyptian. It's an African country. So yeah, it's definitely not that at all. And like I said, they see royalty. They see the original people. Look, he said, we are African. Look to the map. We just speak Arabic. I know that's right, Mahmoud. They are African. I've always wanted to go. Your clips and pictures looking right. What is her website? So if you go to her Instagram page, her website will be in the bio. I'm definitely going to save this live. Was there any... Okay, so there weren't any do's or don'ts. I just wanted to be respectful. Like when I got to Hurghada, it was ass out, baby. I didn't care because I was in Miami. I was in a resort, the pool. Like, what you want me to wear at the pool now? Come on now. I can only do so much. But when I was out, you saw my outfits. Like when I was at the pyramids, I had on like the long dress. And I just wanted to kind of fit in with the culture. What I looked like with some club wear on standing by the pyramid. Like I just didn't want to be that girl. When I went to the museum, I bought like linen is your friend there because it's hot as hell. And you want something that breathes. And it was just fun for me to just tap into that culture. So I won't say it's any do's or don'ts for dress code, but just in my opinion, I would just say respect the culture. Like it really dive into it in a sense. Now, when I did go out that night at the club, sis had on her little mini wrap dress and some cleavage, and I ain't care, and they ain't say nothing. If anything, they was real nice. They was staring, but the men was staring on something. Yes, baby.
Hi, Mama.
You gonna come to Egypt with me next time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hi.
Hey, beautiful.
Ah.
Okay. All right, Kylie. Mommy about to get off of here. All right. So that was an hour. I hope that we answered all of your questions. I definitely will be returning. I am really gonna try to take Yaya for Christmas. At least like a week, because I can handle my own schedule. So like her Christmas break is 2 weeks, so probably like that first half of the week, or the last half of the week. Do Christmas here because I host it, so we'll probably come on like the 26th through the 3rd or something like that. So get that ready for me. If anybody interested in coming on my version of the trip with Yaya, want to bring their kid, let me know because I'm gonna be there. Because Yaya not talking to me right now. Yaya got a whole attitude. Sis ain't been commenting on my pics for real. She probably ain't even on this live. Yaya got a real attitude, but it's okay. Hit up my mom.
Yeah.
Change your bucket list on where it is your responsibility. It is your obligation to go home. It is your responsibility. It's for your soul, baby. It's indescribable. I cannot even express. Y'all saw how emotional I was. I was sitting here crying on live, like just walking through the temples, just being there, just had me so emotional. So be prepared for that emotional roller coaster. Plus some fun, some good food, some sightseeing, some pictures. Every single corner of everywhere was a IG pic, baby. And just have fun. Do some shopping. They sing, they dance. It was beautiful. So make sure you guys hit up my mom. She offers tours. She can customize. Don't get caught up by these people trying to offer tours and stuff like that, because most of them, in my opinion, aren't American to know what we like. Right. How she said, as Americans, we're spoiled and stuff like that. She knows what we like.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Egypt is
Jess,
home for mommy.
To say that if
she asked if you're ever moving back, or is Egypt home? Egypt is home. I mean, my house is always somewhere she could be. Yeah. But Egypt is home. But she's coming back. She's coming back next month because she want to be here for Carly's birthday. So August. She's coming in August. But Egypt is home. Yeah. What you say, mommy?
Well, I was just going to say that on my website right now, I just have the group tours for Egypt. But because of your visit and the need for people to be able to come whenever they want, because group tours are based on certain dates, I'm doing what I call the Easy Egypt Luxury Tour. And then that's customizable, completely pick your dates, and then, we put together a program for you. And that'll be posted up on the website later this evening.
Right. And I think her pricing includes all your flights, transports, flights to and from America, your international flight, inter and intra-national flights,
right.
Food. It includes everything.
Right. And then also, too, my flight, that we use, it's only a 12-hour flight from the United States to get to Luxor. So it doesn't have to be a really long, drawn-out flight. Okay.
All right. Well, I think that's the questions. They had it. Go ahead and just let your girls know they changing these girls' trips, these birthday trips. Y'all about to be all up in Egypt with it. Yes, the price point is all inclusive. Mommy says all you have to do is show up.
Right.
That's it. All inclusive. So just put some aside a little bit, pick your date.
Put some plans too. So I have payment plans too. So,
and she has payment plans. So go ahead, y'all. This trip, you gotta go. All right, mommy, we did an hour. We did good, babe.
Good.
I love you. I miss you. Her website info is gonna be. I'll put it in. I'll put it in this.
Brandon and I, the queen that we talked. I spoke with you already. Yes, I will be there with you guys if that's what you definitely want for the tours. Absolutely, you gotta have that American with you.
Right. Well, I love you, mommy. I know it's super late there. I'm about to eat my salmon and greens because I got a little fluffy. And
you got greens.
Well, no, I made a spring salad. But thank you so much. I'm so happy that the world is starting to see how absolutely amazing you are. I guess I'm okay with sharing you. And yeah, you guys, and just thank you, mommy. Thank you for being brave, for being bold, and living out loud and living for you, and even putting this type of
Mama.
this type of perspective. Carly, turn that off. Go turn it off. putting this type of perspective out there for us, right? Because you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And
I just want people to come.
I know.
I want you to see it. You have to see
Mama,
it.
Carly, shh.
you are strong and brave and respect.
Yes,
thank
she
you,
is.
doll. So are you.
All right, you
everybody
guys.
has to see Egypt, so I
Yes.
hope to see you guys soon.
Yes, they will. All right, mommy. Love you.
Love you too.
Bye-bye.
Later.